The Hycros weapons database has been linked and is applying for data delegation. Hycros weapons system data delegated authority to pass. There are more and more simulacrum characters of Tower of Fantasy. Are you curious about? What exactly is a simulacrum system? Who on earth are those who are chatting with you in the chat of friends? What is the relationship between simulacrum and real character? In this issue, we're going to talk about the simulacrum system of Tower of Fantasy. Let's go to the video. As long as the moves of you and me are combined together, we can be invincible. Amitaburu, Human Soul Mode. Let's go and get in possession. The human soul is gradually entering the body. Are you ready to die? This clip is from the anime Shaman King. If you want to understand the simulacrum of Tower Fantasy, it is necessary to know how many forms of simulacrum there are. The first form, possession form. According to the introduction of the scrapper, simulacrum encapsulates the character's memory and combat data into a module. Then the executor obtains the module by ordering. The appearance and data of the character can be simulated during the battle. Deal with the complex combat environment. This is also our usual fighting stage. Many people ask me what the protagonist's strength is. Actually, it has something to do with the simulacrum system. The stronger the simulacrum you use, the more powerful the protagonist. Is it very similar to the current situation of the players in the game? The reason for this kind of question. Because Tower of Fantasy is trying to explain this mechanism with the game settings. So possession combat is the most common setting. It applies to both 1.0 and 2.0 characters. But in addition to simulacrum, there is another form. Is an independent entity form. But considering that the game doesn't show up, it can be compared to the double form in the Shaman King. One is the form of Ghostfire. This shape is small, easy to carry. They will follow you. That's why you feel like simulacrum is following you. Coco Ritter will be worried about you getting hurt. Meryl wants to be strong in actual combat. Except for this small form. Simulacrum can also be transformed into entities and act. Shiro will invite you to see the sea. Huma will go to Hycros for a checkup. Claudia can go out on a mission alone. Echo will go to trouble with the hyenas. This shows that they can fight side by side with the protagonist. That's why you find the interaction between simulacrum and players. Just like we have adventures together. It explains several forms of simulacrum. Let's talk about the origin of simulacrum. Simulacrum encapsulates the memories, personality and combat data of the character. In the 1.0 plot, the characters have more or less to do with Hycros. Even Friggs may have been given the data by a mole sent by Hycros. When we get to Vera, fortunately, the game official did not give up the setting. Lynn, Alyss and Sirius are the executors. Although they belong to different districts. But it's not impossible for District 7 and 9 to share information. Lyra is interested in simulacrum system. Want to personally evaluate the system. Annabella's purpose is not yet clearly stated. But starting with Frigg, the encapsulation of simulacrum already requires only data. There is no need for the character to record data in person. From this point of view, as long as there's data, anyone can become a simulacrum. So don't be too surprised at the origin of the subsequent simulacrum. Talk about the origin of the data of simulacrum. Let's talk about the relationship between character and simulacrum. Character and simulacrum are two independent individuals. And character has an character's idea. Simulacrum also has simulacrum's idea. What they have in common is that the memory and data are the same before encapsulating the data. But it is not interoperable after encapsulation. For example, you use Lynn's simulacrum. But after encapsulation, the strength of character Lynn is advancing by leaps and bounds. At this time, if character Lynn does not update the data, your simulacrum Lynn won't get stronger. Similarly, if you make your simulacrum stronger, the character will not be affected and become stronger. This is also reflected in thoughts and ideas. For example, the character likes you before it is encapsulated. Then your simulacrum will be fond of you, too. But the subsequent development may be very different. If character turns from liking to disgusted with you, your simulacrum will still not be affected. It's still like you. Examples of great differences between character and simulacrum. Like character Cobalt B can't fight at all. But simulacrum can. Simulacrum Tsubasa also wants to take a different path from character. All these show that the idea and character of simulacrum can be different. Simulacrum Samir often figure out the idea of character. Simulacrum Huma will want to remember the past. Simulacrum Frigg would imagine the protagonist transforming into her and dueling with the character Frigg. The ideas of simulacrum sometimes are very interesting. But you will find that these phenomena appear less after version 2.0. The people you are talking to are becoming more and more like real people. Sirius will also invite you to visit the Institute of Ecology. But sometimes talking is like a simulacrum that accompanies you all the time. What's going on here? Still quoting animation to explain. This time it is the familiar Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto's fame stunt is the art of shadow doppelganger. Use chakra to make your own doppelganger. Unlike the ordinary doppelganger technique, the shadow doppelganger also has its own ideas. More like an independent individual. The relationship between simulacrum and character in Tower of Fantasy is similar to the relationship between Naruto and his shadow doppelgangers. In the early stage, Naruto's shadow doppelganger is basically an assistant. Naruto is the shadow of fire. He is unable to balance the family and the country. He can't choose between his own family and everyone. Therefore, he often used shadow doppelganger to fulfill his responsibilities. Used to accompany the family and handle official business. Naruto's shadow doppelganger has another feature. When the doppelganger is eliminated, doppelganger's experiences and memories will return to the character. In this way, the character will feel the same way. The simulacrum of Tower of Fantasy will not disappear, but different from version 1.0. The simulacrum of 2.0 and the character can be related to each other, as long as they want. They can also communicate with each other. So this setting will blur simulacrum and character. The last second the one chatted with you may still be a simulacrum. The next second it becomes character. The only thing that is certain is that character and simulacrum exist independently. Because character can't accompany with you all the time. And according to the setting of the simulacrum system, as long as it's encapsulating data, there will be independent individuals. For example, Meryl. You are close to the simulacrum, only to find that character is still very cold to you. This shows that simulacrum and character may not have communicated. Game official began to play down the autonomy of simulacrum after 2.0. More conversations are like communicating with character. The advantage is to pull in the relationship between the player and the character. The disadvantage is that it destroys the independence of simulacrum. Everyone should have a unique simulacrum. Besides, simulacrum will not betray you. To put it bluntly, simulacrum system is also a tool. Letting it have the character's memory and personality is just an added value. Even now many people don't care about the plot of the character, the voice of the character, the personality of the character, only care about whether the weapon is strong or not. This is very consistent with the setting that the simulacrum system is a tool. Frigg's character is clearly our enemy, but her simulacrum has to help us kill the heirs of Ida. You can see it from here. Players have absolute control over simulacrum. To sum up, no need to worry about whether the dialogue is character or simulacrum, because after 2.0, the official blurred the concept. No longer like 1.0. There is a phenomenon that character and simulacrum are too independent. But don't forget, the simulacrum partner in your team is unique. She will take risks and fight with you. Watch the scenery together, pass the level together. In a daze together, taking pictures together. In fact, we are never alone in the Tower of Fantasy. That's all for this issue. Follow Xiaofeng. Take you to experience a different Tower of Fantasy.